the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Production respectfully brings to you the 197th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the purse stenographer of Ace Blade. Oh my God, Ace Blade.
Yep.
Danny, jam on it quick. And together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live via Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Oh no, not Twitter, sorry. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you're listening and watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews, interactions help us reach a bigger audience. What's up, Jam on it?
Jam on it. That's a new one.
I did not get the video finished in that time, but I'm gonna get it done.
But you will. I believe in you.
Thank you. Yeah, 197 episodes, man. We are getting close to that 200 episode.
Yeah. I think we'll be over the 200 episodes by the time we get there, honestly. But we're gonna call the 200 and leave it there.
Oh man, don't say that. We've been planning this for so long. Yeah. We have to make this work.
It's 200.
It's going to be 200. No matter what it happens, it's going to be 200.
You're right. Exactly.
Okay.
No matter what happens, that's going to be the 200th episode, and it's going to be great. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited about 5 Star Comic Con. I know they've been promoting it, and Tony has been all over the place doing news spots and all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited.
Speaking of Tony, shout out to Tony because apparently tomorrow, or I guess not tomorrow, next week, he starts full time at his local comic shop. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, officially in the chat. Yeah, apparently he left his place of work that he was working at I think it was an activity nursing center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's starting with Crooked Dog Comics tomorrow or next week. Yeah,
that's
full
awesome.
time.
Man, I've always had a little side fantasy to work at a comic book store. I feel like if I go up to Acme and I say, "Hey, could I work here?" I could get a job, but I don't know if the salaries would line up. So
I mean, they'll pay better than DoorDash, I'm sure.
You know what? You're probably right. You're probably right about that. But we do what we have to do. Have you ever worked at a comic book store?
No, I have not. I've thought about it. Actually, before I got into making comics, a friend and I, we actually looked into buying our own comic store. We were going to call it Two Ninjas Comics.
No, you weren't.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
No, you were not.
Yes, we were.
No, you were not, Kyle.
Yes, we were. We were going to call it Two Ninjas.
Glad that did not happen. I am so glad that idea did not come to fruition.
They were going to be Black Ninjas.
I'm sure they were. You just terrible.
I am not. I hand to God.
You're gonna answer the phone. Hi, this is Two Ninjas Comics.
Yo,
that's how you're gonna answer the phone. No.
Or be like, Ninja, what's up?
No.
What's up, my ninja?
That's terrible. That is just terrible.
It was not my idea to call it Two Ninjas, but it would have been a damn good name for a store. I don't care.
I mean, I think so. I think it would have been catchy at least. You definitely would have got some press out of it.
Especially considering myself and he was also Black, would be like the shop owners work in the store. You come in and be like, "Hey, y'all know your and then be like, oh,
Well, I'll say this: since now we're good friends, if we open a shop, we could be the two ninjas, and because our guest is in Japan right now, he could be the third ninja. We got a very special guest in the building. He is an illustrator and comic book creator, and he loves Bronze Age and early modern comics, and it shows in his amazing artwork. Welcome, Frank Osgood, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
How you feel about being the third ninja, Frank?
Oh, yeah, let's get on it.
Three ninjas kick back.
Three ninjas, yeah.
All fun.
That was a cool movie back in the day. Well, Frank, thanks for coming on the show. If you would,
Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves. Now, okay, wait. Three Ninjas was like my favorite movie back in the day when that first came out.
What's up, man? Hey.
All right, sorry. Go on. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, okay, Frank. Thanks for coming on the show, man. And if you would, just for our audience, man, if they're not familiar with your work, give us a brief overview of your work and what you're here to talk about today.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I'm Frank Osgood, and I work with the I work under the banner of Osgood Comics, Osgood, Comix, and yeah, it started out as a hobby, just drawing and making a bunch of fan art. I always liked doing art as a kid, and then around my 20s, or sorry, like late teens, 20s, I got out of it, and then I got back into it again. And around COVID time, I started making more, drawing more fan art, getting more, starting paying more attention to SNS. And I'd always wanted to make my own comic. And around right when COVID hit, that was when I kind of got the fire back again for making a comic. And it was a struggle at first, and took a lot of time. In that whole interim, I had still been trying to basically have a constant online presence with fan art. So it was mainly like DC characters, Marvel characters, or characters from the, like you mentioned, Bronze Age, that were independent at the time. And about 4 years into that stretch, I put out Moonhogs, which is like the my flagship title. I put that out in Global Comics, and starting last year, I decided to revamp it because I just didn't think it was good enough at the time, and putting out a Kickstarter pre-launch, and hopefully it's going to be successful in the summer. And in the meantime, I'm still doing fan art and started going to conventions. Yeah, so it's kind of a short story into a long story, but yeah, that's where I am.
That works. Fish put in the comments here that COVID brought in so many creators, which we are finding out a lot, that this new wave of indie creators seems to have started a lot with COVID. Was there any particular situation during COVID that made you get into making comics?
Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, right when COVID came, I was kind of a little bit in a crossroads, like because I wanted to change the jobs that I was working at, and right when it came, I guess that would have been in March or late February of 2020.
Mhm.
That's when everything started. The lockdowns began, and people started using Zoom and stuff like that, and that's basically when it all began. And suddenly, I had all this extra free time on my hands, and then that I was able to start going through the grueling process of making the comic panel by panel, page by page. Yeah. So yeah, COVID just it got me. It gave me time. That was the main thing. It gave me the time to do that.
That's definitely a common sentiment among a lot of our guests. A lot of our guests are indie comic book creators, and I think Kyron even was thinking about doing a. Was that you that was talking about doing a documentary about artists?
Yeah, that was me. Why you gotta? I'm still in the process of putting that together. You just spilling stuff, dude.
That's literally my only job on the show. It's the spoil things. It's my only job. No.
Yes, that was me. I had this idea of doing like a documentary of comic creators, just figuring out what it was that about 2020 that sparked them to make comics, and particularly indie comics. That we've seen a huge influx of those, and I was like, I felt like that'd be a cool documentary to listen to.
Yeah,
for sure. So Frank, I know you've moved a couple of times. Can I ask you where you were located during this time? Were you in Canada? Were you in Japan?
I was still in Japan, Osaka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So, illustrating. I see. I'm a writer. I do consider myself an artist too, but I would never think of illustrating a comic book at my current skill level. I heard you say that you you revamped it because you thought that it wasn't good enough. What went into that decision? Do you think it was the art or the story or a combination of both that made you revamp it?
Yeah, all of the above. And I also like to say, I think I do a lot of art, but I think I'm mainly also a writer as well. I think that's maybe my first instinct, actually. But yeah, I had this idea of a character. I came up with a character back in 2017, and I jotted him down. Actually, the character came about because I was drawing I was drawing the chest of I think Superman or some comic. Like I was doing the constructions for a sketch for a character. I was drawing the rib cage, and I made a mistake with it. And then I said, okay, I'm going to turn this real rough beginnings of a drawing into a face, and that face became a character. And I said, okay, this character looks. I'm kind of vibing with this character. Maybe I could give this character a comic or a story, and it evolved from there. I decided to make a story based around this character, and it just took a long time to finally get it out. And then finally in 2020, I put it out. No, sorry, I started drawing it, and 2024 I put it out in Global Comics, and just that my artwork then it was not so bad. I look back on it, and it wasn't too bad, but the thing, like, the inks weren't so crisp, and my scanning wasn't perfect, and my inking had just begun. Like, I was still just a total rookie with inking and coloring, digital coloring as well. And it was also the writing. There wasn't enough high stakes in the writing. The story just, it wasn't. There was a cliffhanger at the end, but there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough. I hadn't made the problem dire enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't dire enough for the audience to really care about. Like, who cares? Like, yeah. Also, a big telling thing was I had two comics. I had two issues. I had Moonhogs 1, Moonhogs 2. And on Global Comics, they show you the views. And I think the views for number 1 was about 4K. It's not too bad. Yeah. But then episode 2 was 1K.
Oh. Well, you got to expect that drop off a little bit. But yeah, I can see.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever one, like the issue number 1 wasn't delivering enough of a punch for people to go ahead and view number 2. So yeah, that was another telling sign.
So I feel like we missed a huge part of this conversation. What is Moonhogs? We haven't even talked about it because we definitely want to know about you but for our audience, what exactly is Moonhogs and what is a Moonhog?
Oh, cool. Okay, so thank you. So I guess this could be kind of like an elevator pitch as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Moonhogs is a story that I'm long-winded by nature, so sorry about that. It's a story that takes place in another galaxy. I'm not sure where. I haven't really I didn't do the background and the constellations and everything, but it takes place in a faraway galaxy. There's a big gas giant called Tarhoon that is a gas giant that has a bunch of gas that can be used as an energy source. So I'm kind of stealing off of Empire Strikes Back, like a Cloud City,
Mm.
Bespin, and all that. So
Okay.
so it's a big gas giant that has a lot of energy, and there's a monopoly company that's taking the energy, and they have a small colony um, called Haven, which is on the moon of Tarhun. It's like one of the most habitable moon in Tarhun system. So basically, it's like a corporate town, kind of like Hershey, Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
or Toyota, Japan, or it's a corporate town for the workers of this energy conglomerate, and it's basically focuses on the refugee families that are living on this colony. And because a lot of them are like maybe like refugees or maybe poor, it's just a kind of derogatory term for them being moonhogs. So it's basically about a family growing up in this colony and just dealing with the uncertainties and the trials and tribulations of being a refugee on an off-planet moon colony. And then later on, as the story goes, we'll get into like space pirates and them fighting against the corporation and them dealing with um, the criminal element that's within the colony as well. So it's like it's got like three forks that we could deal with it that I can introduce into the story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was I love the concept of Moonhogs. I think that when I was looking at the preview that you sent over, one thing that really stood out to me was your attention to detail in the architecture around the space colony. I really loved like the 3D effects on the titles of the buildings and stuff like that. That was really cool to me. And I find myself when I'm reading a new comic book, like things like that really help me kind of immerse myself in the world, because some of the interiors can look like regular places, but when you're outside and you're looking around this new this planet that's not it's not Earth, there's these alien beings, there's these refugees from all over the place, and you can kind of see that it's a different place. Like every time that you're outside, you can tell that you're not on Earth. I mean, of course you can, because there's all these aliens, but um do you have a background in architecture or anything like that, or is that just one of those attention to detail things?
Oh yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I had done like I'd studied perspective like a
Mhm.
while ago, so that helped a bit. And yeah, perspective, and I did like I used to be I used to work with CAD, like
Hmm.
yes, but but for the main thing, I think like just like perspective and attention to details. I always loved reading Moebius, Jean
Oh
Giraud.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So his perspective, like the airtight garage and things like that. He's got these big like these double spreads or like splash pages with like great perspective and attention to detail. Yeah, plus like like things like with the you mentioned where the sign of the storefront is kind of 3D. I always imagine that in the future, like billboards and there still be neon signs, but maybe people would use holograms for
Hmm.
their storefronts. And so I figured that if we're doing a kind of a futuristic setting, that I would have to add stuff like that in. Yeah. Yeah, it's just about try my best. So like I was watching like Blade Runner and
Hmm.
Cowboy Bebop and
Hmm.
other things as well to try to try to make that world more realistic.
Okay, I can definitely see the Blade Runner aspects of it, especially in the designs. I'm trying to think about the Cowboy Bebop 'cause I love that series, and trying to just incorporate it. Do you find like a lot of your work you get influence from other genres and other mediums?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Yeah, like I'd say the biggest is like TV, movies, and comic books. But I think movies even more so because just because they're easier to watch, and I've been watching them since I was a kid. So like things like Blade Runner and things like that. And a previous podcaster, Crenshaw, he mentioned that it looked kind of like uh, he said it was not The Running Man, Total Recall.
Oh,
Total
okay,
Recall,
yeah,
It had
yeah,
a Total
Yeah,
Recall.
I can definitely see Total Recall.
yeah. The design of the characters definitely remind me of a Total Recall look to it. So yeah, I can see that.
Mm.
So, is there anything with Moonhogs that you're trying to say as far as a story? Like, are you trying to tell a particular type of story with this, or um, I'm trying to think of the word here. Any particular? Oh, help me out here, Danny.
So from a story perspective, are you? I had somebody asked me a question on TikTok a while back, and they were talking about, as a writer, do I start with the idea of just something cool first and then develop the story, or do I have something that I want to tell people? Do I have a theme in mind? And I usually write from themes. I usually write from, this is the message I want to tell. Now, how can I use these characters to tell it? What is your process like from creating a story? I know you said that you created this character and you wanted to build around that, but did you already have a goal in mind for that character, or was it just, I'm gonna put these characters in this situation and see how it goes?
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely the first thing that you mentioned, the having a cool idea or having an idea that I thought nobody else had done yet,
Mm-hmm.
or very few people had done yet, and building it around that. So yeah, at first it was just having this idea. I like it was kind of Dune,
Mm-hmm.
because Dune is like, what is Dune? They're taking out spice, which from the planet Arrakis, right? A desert planet. And
Mm-hmm.
I basically changed it. Instead of a desert planet, it's a gas giant. And
Okay.
instead of taking spice, they're taking away gas for fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And I always had that kind of in mind because I think I only read the first Dune book, and it's a big book, and I've watched other
Yeah.
media for it. And I always thought, if I could
I
kind
can't
of
even
take
make it
that.
through the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the movies too, the first two. And I didn't see the whole thing of the David Finch movie back in the 80s. Yeah. But yeah, it was taking that, and I wanted to meld it with a family drama
Mhm.
as well. And the thing with Dune is it's a great story, and but it focuses more on the political intrigue, which is
Mhm.
really cool, like the royal families. And I thought maybe I'll do that, but I'll do it from a more grassroots perspective. Don't focus on the aristocratic families that control the politics, but instead focus on a small family or a couple of small families that are um, living within the system. Yes, so it started from that idea.
Mm.
And I guess subconsciously, or as I develop, I'm also visiting themes like um, people struggling in society, or
Mm.
class conflict between classes, um, um, with discrimination with different alien species living in a colony.
Mhm.
Yeah, so all those, and alienation and teenage angst and stuff like that, because a lot of the family members have teenage or adolescent members in their families. So yeah, it's parenthood, stuff like that. Yeah, so all those themes are slowly developing in the series over the years.
No, you did mention that you have Moonhogs coming out on Kickstarter.
Yes.
What are some of the rewards that you have available, or you're going to have available for the Kickstarter when it launches?
This is my first Kickstarter, so it's going to be yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah. Um, yeah, my first Kickstarter, so I'm very much like a rookie with all this, and I think the main rewards will be I want to get a variant cover. A variant cover will be a reward, and probably some original artwork. And original artwork meaning maybe like an A4 or letter sized originals. That in ink. Some of them will be black and white, some of them will be color. And I have a friend who makes acrylic stands as well. He made a great acrylic stand of one of my fan art drawings with Justice League. So
Oh, nice.
I'm thinking about putting those into like kind of like tchotchkes, but
Yeah. If you are looking for a great variant cover, Mr. Fish Comics is always great at doing quick artwork, fast and very affordable and great work. Danny also does stuff too.
Okay.
No,
Awesome.
no, I do not. No, I do not accept commissions for variant covers. Kyron and Fish are definitely your guys, but I had an idea for Mr. Fish first. So if he doesn't finish my idea first, he's not allowed.
Priorities.
I think this is great though. I'm always encouraging. I've done, how many Kickstarters have I done now, Kyron? I want to say like 14 Kickstarters at this point. And not all of them were successful, but I learned something from every single one. I do always encourage people to use Kickstarter though, because there's a lot of people who are, their platform is kind of primed and ready for people to find something new. It's all about discoverability. It's all about, oh, this is a thing that didn't exist before or may not exist if we don't help, and they've done a good job of building that audience. So and I see you already got people signed up.
Yeah,
I'm signed up to be notified when you launch. I'm definitely interested in it. So when are you planning on launching?
Dan, you've done 17 Kickstarters.
I've done 17. Yeah, I knew it was up there. What do you have a date in mind already?
Not a date, but it's going to be after mid-August. So
Okay.
August, between August and mid-August and September.
Okay. If I could give you one piece of advice, I would say one thing that has helped me in my launches is once I've set my date, like I have a Kickstarter going that's going to be launching on June 23rd of this year. And once you have that date in your mind, use that date in your call to actions. Use that date to, prime your audience, however many people you have, to be ready to pledge on that day. It's very important, that the people who are going to pledge for you, you get as many of them to pledge up front, because the way that the algorithms work these days, the more people that get in up front, the more it pushes out to people. So
I don't know why you're giving him advice that you don't even follow. You all the time, you will set your day, and then like a week before, you'd be like, I'm just going to launch it right now.
Not a week before. I might launch 24 hours before. I might launch an hour early, but I'm not launching a week before. I'm usually very close to the time. But if I do launch early, I'll have a live audience, or I'll go live and I'll tell people, hey, get in here early, because a lot of time we'll have exclusive rewards, things that are like one of ones. Like this time we got some Sanford Green art, some original art that we'll have. And there's some people that Kyron, you launched the coloring book and literally didn't tell me until we were on the show. So, hey, thanks, Mr. Fish Comics. Anyways, okay, so don't listen to us, Frank. We are all over the place.
Airing out the laundry.
Before we get to quick takes, I do want to ask you though. I was thinking about you've traveled and lived in different places. What was the art community? What was the difference in the art communities in the places that you lived in Canada and in Japan, or is there any difference?
I only really started getting back into comics because I got back into comics at a time period right before I moved back to Japan. I was in Toronto
Right.
at the time,
Mhm.
and I got a little bit into it. And I was taking a comics course from Ty Templeton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a comic book writer. He did like a lot of Batman, Spider-Man, and Canadian. And right at that time, and a lot of the students were also interested in indie comic scene as well. There's a thing called the TCAF, Toronto Comic something festival, Toronto Comic Art Festival, and so it has a lot of like more like indie comic scene, like things like from I forget the oh God, I'm drawing a blank here. I think they're the publishing house that did like Love and Rockets and Ghost World and Fantagraphics.
Oh,
Oh
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, okay. And yeah, I got all this. I got a brain cloud. But yeah, so that was very influential at my time. This would probably be about 2013, 2012, 2013. So
Oh, okay.
the indie comic scene is probably much different than it was now. And probably the comic scene in general would be different from now. And then I moved to Japan, and then and you know, this is manga. This is like manga world. So, but it wasn't until a couple years ago or last year that I started discovering that there's also a market for Marvel and DC and Western comic characters in Japan too. They also have a following here as well.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, how would I compare the two? It's I only visited Toronto's scene as a customer when I went to the conventions there, and didn't do too much comic book shopping before I left. Right immediately before I left to Japan, and here I've already been to two comic conventions as an Artist Alley participant,
Mhm.
and yeah, just blown away by all the diversity of the comic book interests here.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get into that a little more in quick takes. I got some questions for you. All right, Kyron. Unless you got any more questions, Kyron, we can go quick takes if you got the video ready.
Quick takes.
No
See,
question. Video.
I believe in you. I knew you would have it. I knew you would have it. All right, Frank. So this is my favorite session. This is my favorite section of the show. This is Quick Takes, and if you haven't seen the show before, Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet.
Ooh.
I'm just joking. These questions are just for our audience to get to know you a little bit better. We're going to be asking you 5 questions. You're going to have 45 seconds each to answer them off the top of your head, starting with question number 1. Okay. Question number 1. I saw that you posted on your Instagram that you had a nice cognac in Japan. How would you compare, your favorite drinking beverage from maybe your days in Canada to Japan?
Oh yeah, I only started getting into spirits when I was in Japan last few years. Like my buddy, he was into whiskey, and I was mainly a beer guy. But since then, I've diversified my palate. So every now and then, I like some whiskey and cognac. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's awesome.
that was
That's
marked
awesome.
out.
Yeah, it's nice to get a nice little drink every now and then.
Yeah.
But
I
okay.
only have whiskey on the rocks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't really have it neat per se. Yeah, Suntory or any Scotch on the rocks when I can get it.
If I can get me a good coconut Malibu any day of the week,
Oh yeah,
Good to
those are good too.
it's my favorite drink. Kyron doesn't drink though, so he wouldn't.
I like a good bottled water, maybe a Sprite. I'm good with that.
Okay, question number 2. So, You talked about this a little bit earlier, but I want you to expound a little bit on your experience at the Japanese Comic Art Expo.
Okay, yeah.
Just tell us about it, and some of your perspective, going there for the first 2 times.
Thank you. So yeah, it was the lots of good fans there. They last time I went, it was a big Venom. For some reason, all the commissions that I asked was Venom, and no, sorry, not all of them. But every now and then you get some guy that will like even like a Western comic character that you don't know about. I had one guy, he wanted me to draw a commission for Stardust, which is this kind of obscure golden age character drawn by this guy called Fletcher Hanks, and I had no idea. So I was floored that they would know this obscure character, golden age American comics.
Oh,
Hey, that's awesome.
I've never heard of Stardust.
Yeah.
The only Stardust I know of is the wrestler Stardust, who is now called Cody Rhodes.
I thought that was Gold Dust. Is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
Stardust?
yeah.
No, Goldust was his brother.
Oh,
Dusty
okay.
Rhodes.
I've been out of the game.
Dusty Rhodes is their dad.
Okay, Dustin Rhodes.
Yes, Dustin Rhodes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a wrestling fan. Oh, I wish I had known that. Okay. all right.
See, we always connect this show to either wrestling or Star Trek, one or the other. We always connect people in this show to wrestling or Star Trek.
It's all
Yeah,
good. It's all
bronies.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 3. So, I saw in the pitch for your book, you said that your protagonist couldn't fix the problem because he was part of the problem. Is there a problem in the world that you would like to fix that you think you might be a part of?
Oh, wow, that's deep. Oh God, that's deep, man. Oh man. Part of the problem, yeah. Oh God. Wow, that's really deep. Part of the problem, I don't know which. I think I've authored a bunch of problems. If there's a problem out there, I'm a part of it. Yeah. If anything, I want to sustain the problem rather than solve it.
And that's a problem in itself. That's a problem.
He
Yeah.
said it's not broke
Well,
all the
yeah,
way.
I'm not
Don't
a
fix
problem
it.
solver. I'm a problem maker.
Okay.
I guess the algorithm. If there's any problem, that is the algorithm, and I don't know if I'm a part of that
Yeah.
or I'm contributing to that, or if I'm gonna vanquish it in the interim. But yeah,
I think that's a good one, because I think a lot of times we can get caught on these devices doom scrolling and giving our attention to the wrong things a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then the algorithm is going to continue to give you those things if you
right,
pay
right,
attention.
yeah.
So
I think you're
a
authoring
good
your
answer.
own demise there. You're contributing to your own not downfall, but your own struggles. Yeah.
That's a great answer. Okay. Question number 4. So I noticed last October you did Inktober. You did
Yes.
a lot of art during Inktober, and I always wonder during October, when I see people doing all these amazing art pieces, what are the best and worst parts of Inktober?
Okay. Probably the best part of Inktober is the fact that you get these prompts, and it really causes your mind. It forces your mind to race. Like you get these prompts. I don't know. Like it could be tinfoil, and you don't know how to channel that into a character or a drawing. So it makes you make a story. It forces you to be creative and make a story, and forces you to make connections. Like if it tinfoil, I bring it to, I don't know, Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, and then I could engineer some other character into it. Yeah, and probably the worst part of it is just having to do it every day, especially the Inktober. That's a grind in itself, and because you're doing it every day, you're rushing. Sometimes the art falls apart, but so be it.
That makes sense.
That's the game.
Okay. All right. So question number 5. We always have our guests do a top 5 list off the top of their head to celebrate our show that we used to have called Top 5 Live. So I want to ask you. No. The top 5 wish keepers. I'm gonna ask you. You expressed earlier that you were surprised at some of the commission requests that you received. I want to know, what are your top 5 commissions that you've had so far?
Okay. Top 5 commissions. Okay. Has to be in order of 1 to 5, or anything's okay.
Just give me 5. Yeah. It can be
Okay.
5.
So there was a Venom. I did a couple of commissions for Venom, but I did a bust up for Venom. Really cool. I liked the Dr. Fate one. There was a Dr. Fate commission I had to do. Batman, the Batman Who Laughs.
Oh yeah.
I really like doing that. And there was also Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is always.
Spider-Man was one of my go-tos, like one of my first go-tos for comics. And then another one was that I really enjoyed was Hawkman.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
A lot of some of those Dr. Fate, Hawkman can kind of be golden age. They had a place in in the golden age of comics. So
yeah. They all started there, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for doing that for us. This week, Quick Takes is brought to you by 5 Star Comic Con. Kyra and I are going to be in Dayton, Ohio, at 5 Star Comic Con in exactly 22 days, 3 hours, and 18 minutes. And we're going to be doing our 200th episode live. We don't even know who we're going to be talking to. We're just going to we're going to be out there going live and having fun. So if you're in the area, make sure you get your tickets for 5 Star Comic Con. It's going to be a great time. Kyron, back to you.
Frank, you want to come to Dayton, Ohio? We'll interview you. Just live.
Yeah.
You can fly out there.
Can you pay for my ticket?
No. I can't pay for my own ticket. What are you...
And I'm driving because I can't afford a ticket.
You can pay for my dinghy.
Okay. All right. We do want to make sure that everybody keeps up with you because we appreciate you being on. But where's the best places online for our audience to follow you and your work?
Thank you. So it'd be, I think I got a link tree. So it's all my links are in my profiles, like my main profile. So it would be Osgood Comics for X, Osgood Comics, and that's one of the main ones that I go by, and also Instagram. But my Instagram is Frank Osgood Comics. Okay. Both of them have no spaces in between, no underscores in between names, just one word, Osgood Comics. And Frank Osgood Comics, and that's comics with a COMIX. Nice. And also, of course, Kickstarter, Moonhogs, all one word. Yeah, please, if the audience, everybody watching can go there, that would be amazing.
Definitely,
really appreciate that.
Danny, where's the best places online for people to follow you?
Well, the best place to get information on me would be on my website, fourthwallpros.com, or you can check out my new Substack, the Ace Blade Foundation, or if you want to follow me on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you?
You can find me at tauruscomics.com. I am on all social media platforms at Taurus Comics. And this is the first time you've ever checked out our podcast, you can go to our website, which is 4talespodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. Join us next week, though, where we're going to have the man himself, Tony Clapper, the person behind 5 Star Comic Con and 5 Star, the comic book. He's going to be on the show talking about his new adventures with, I'm assuming we're going to get some information about this new job he has with Crooked Dog Comics. So we'll try to get him information about that, but also, of course, 5 Star Comic Con. But until then, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.